Thank you.
Very good. Well, Jim, thank you so much, and want to give a special thank you to Judy Toulour for inviting me to be a part of this. I work with her daughter. We teach together at West Ranch High School in Stevenson Ranch, California, right in northern Los Angeles County. So very excited to be here. Just really quickly give you a little bit of background where I'm coming from. I'm just entering, actually preparing in 2 weeks. We'll be starting less than 2 weeks now, starting my 18th year of teaching here in the Heart District in Southern California. And I've taught both middle school and high school. I'm a social studies teacher, so I've taught pretty much every history and social studies class there is to teach between 7th and 12th grade. And I'm also, I love technology, and I love incorporating technology into my classroom. And what I found is the best way, whether it's for personal reasons or particularly for my classroom, the best way to share information with students and parents is with blogging. And so I've kind of been the blogging evangelist for my school and my school district, and with schools up and down the state of California now for the past few years. And so I just wanted to share some of that with you, my passion for blogging, and why I think it's a great vehicle to share what's on your mind. And so that's a little bit of background on where I'm coming from, and just again, very excited to be here and share some of this with you today. So before we even get started, I did want to let you know, Jim, I did share with you, and it was just a few minutes ago, like a cheat sheet or some notes. So everything that we're talking about today, I realize that it's being recorded, but I also put it in a PDF format. So Jim, I emailed that to you, and I realized I just did it probably 10 or 15 minutes ago. But everything that I'm talking about today, all the basics for setting up a blog are in that cheat sheet as well, which I understand can be uploaded to the forum here. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what is a blog. And a blog is really, and let me just show you some examples. A blog is really a way to share what's on your mind with a specific audience. For this blog, this is ronippolito.com. This is my website that I have in a blog format. These are all of the things that I do as an educator. This is my professional blog that I have, that I keep to share mostly with other teachers, to show them kind of what's going on, presentations that I do. I belong to a group called CATA. It's the California Association of Directors of Activities. I was a student council advisor for many years, and so I kind of share my knowledge and wisdom with both student leaders and also adult advisors. So this is the way that I'm able to keep track of my thoughts. I share my presentations, and it's just, for me, it's such a great way because it's all in reverse chronological order. So if I want to see what was the last thing that I did, it's right up here at the top, this best self rotation that I just did a couple of weeks ago in Santa Barbara at a leadership camp. But I can go back in time, and I can scroll down here to I can scroll down. Oh, you know what? I didn't enable it on that, but I'll go ahead and go to my teacher website. This is mrippolito.com. This is what I provide for my students. And for my students, I have the blog archive. I've turned the blog archive off for my professional website. I should actually re-enable that. But this enables me to go back in time, and I can look. You notice that I've been blogging with mrippolito.com ever since 2010. And
That's
so this is a
excuse me,
record.
Ron.
Oh, yes,
If you could just on your screen go full screen so we can.
absolutely, yes.
That's
Is
better.
that
Thank
better?
you.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So this is a record of everything that I've ever done. It's nice because if students want to go back in time, they can look at previous blog posts that I've posted. Also, it's nice for me too because I can go back in time and I can look at, gosh, what was that lesson that I did back in September? And so I can go back in time as well. So you can look and see. I'll zoom in a little bit on here. This is a presentation that I gave to my seniors, my graduating high school seniors, on their very last day of class right before graduation. And so just some wisdom that I've gotten throughout my years and from friends, I was able to share that on my blog. project information from one of the final projects that we did in class. Here I was able to embed a video where actually it's an audio only, it's an audio podcast where I go over everything that's going to be on the final exam. I take pictures and I share those pictures on my blog, but really I just take a picture of my class whiteboard of the agenda on the board every day, and that's how I share what is going on with my students. So this is an example of the blog that I've created for my classroom. I'll give you another example. This is a friend of mine from church. She and her husband went on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land last summer, and she didn't want to post photos on Facebook. She didn't really feel that comfortable with Facebook, but she definitely wanted to share the experience, all of the photos from her trip. She wanted to share it with friends and family, and she wanted to be able to, on occasion, share, tell a little bit of a story or explain the photos. And for her, a blog was a great way to do this. She was able to send it right from her phone. And this is another thing that I'll be showing you is blogging, maintaining a blog, creating, posting, and maintaining a blog is really as simple as sending an email. So if you can send an email, if you can send text in an email, then you can post to your blog. If you can attach an attachment to an email message, then you can post photos to a blog. And it's just that easy. There are a few different ways that you can include photos in your blog, and I'll show you both ways. But again, it is just as easy as sending an email. And that's really what I do. I'll just go back to here really quickly. All I do when I take a photo of I use my smartphone. I have an iPhone, but you could use a Windows phone or an Android phone. If you have a phone that can send and receive email and that can take pictures, then you can blog right from your phone. So I take the photo with my iPhone, and then I go ahead and just attach it as an email, and I send it to my blog, and I don't even ever have to touch my computer in order to blog. And that's the exact same thing that my friend Mary Jo did when she was in the Holy Land. She had access every evening when she went back to her hotel. She had access to Wi-Fi in the hotel, and so she wasn't using any of her she wasn't using her data plan on her cell phone. Wasn't running up a big cell phone bill, and she was able to post photos and share those photos with her friends and family, and it was, like I said, as easy as sending an email. So when you're deciding whether it's for professional purposes or just to share photos with friends and family, maybe share photos of your children or grandchildren, the first thing that you want to think of when you're creating a blog is, who is your audience? Who is this really designed for? And that might be, I think for many people, it's friends and family. For me, it's my students or the colleagues, professional colleagues, other teachers that I encounter. You may decide that a blog is just all for yourself, and the only person you ever want to look at this blog is you. And you can do that too. You can set up your blog settings so that it's private. And you can use it as a diary. You can use it either as a video diary, as a photo diary, as just a text-only diary. You can just keep this all to yourself, and that's what some people do as well with a blog, is use it as a personal journal. So let's go ahead now. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of how to create a blog. How do we get this whole thing started? And once again, I wanted to say thank you to Jim for posting that cheat sheet that's now online. And I'm basically just going to be going through the same steps that I have right on the cheat sheet to guide you through how to create a blog. So there are a few different websites that you can use. There's Tumblr, which is very popular with teenagers these days. There's WordPress. WordPress is also very popular with teachers and professionals. But the one that I think is best, and the one that I prefer because I'm a big Google fan, is Blogger. So that's what I'm going to be using today to show you how to create a blog. I think it's the easiest. It has a lot of advanced features, which I really enjoy, but it also is very, very simple to set it up, which is why I set that up with my friend Mary Jo when she and her friends and her husband went to the Holy Land. So I'm going to switch over here to Firefox now, and I will do this full screen. And And also, with regard to questions, if you do have questions, again, this is my first time presenting to this forum. Very excited. Jim, I assume that questions may come in over on that chat on the right-hand side, which I can't see right now. But Jim, I think you're going to, you'll turn your audio on and jump in and talk to me and let me know if there are any questions, because I'm very happy to answer them. So the very first thing we're going to do is we go to blogger.com. This is the website for the Blogger service, and this is the screen that we're going to encounter. So a couple of different choices. If you already have a Google account, let's say you have Gmail or you have a YouTube account, then you would already have a Google account, and so you would just log in with your email and your password. If you have never had Gmail, you've never set up a Google account at all, Google Plus, nothing like that, you have no Google services that you have signed up for, then you're going to go ahead and click on the red sign up button as though you're signing up for a Google account for the very first time. I'm going to go ahead and assume we're going to jump to the next step, because I already have signed up for a Google account, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign in with my username and password, and I'm going to enter a correct password, and sure. All right, so this is then, if you're brand new, if you just created your account for the very first time and you have never created a Google Plus profile, and just to let you know, Google Plus is another social network. It's kind of like Facebook, but different, kind of like a little like Twitter, but different. You don't need to create a Google Plus profile in order to use Blogger. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go through this process. If you already have it, and I have created a Google Plus profile, but you certainly don't need to, I'm going to go ahead and just create a limited Blogger profile. And then it's going to ask you, what do you want your display name to be? In other words, what do you want people to know you as? I always like to go with my real name, but you can go with an alias if you'd like. And do I want you to send me features? No, I get enough email as it is. I'm going to turn that off and continue to Blogger. So then it will take you, and this is because this is a different account that I have. This is my school account. I've never created a blog through my school account. I've always created it through my personal account. This is what you would see your very first time setting up a Blogger blog, and you would go ahead and click on that new blog button. I'm now going to switch back over to my other account here, and I am going to go to blogger.com. You will see that I have a number. You can see how much I enjoy using the Blogger service. I have a total of, I don't know, whatever that is, 10 or 12 blogs just through Blogger. I really like it for a number of different reasons. I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to click on New Blog. And so this is where we are here, creating a new blog, and it would look exactly the same if I were to go ahead and click here. You're going to see exactly the same. This is through my school district. Let me go ahead and flip back so you see that without the school district message. Okay, so let's say, for example, we're going to create a fake blog today, and you know what? I like to spend my mornings in Starbucks. I'm a big Starbucks fan. I don't ever drink coffee, but I do love their iced tea. So I'm going to call my blog Mornings at Starbucks. And let's see, Starbucks. Now, you'll notice we have this exclamation point right here. This is telling us, you know what? Nah, you can't call yourself Starbucks at blogs.blogspot.com. That's not going to work. So let's try Starbucks Mornings. Oh, this is available. That's perfect. So if I want to start blogging about my mornings, and don't get me wrong, I don't go to Starbucks every morning, but you know, every so often I enjoy it. So I'm going to create a blog that's dedicated to my visits to Starbucks in the mornings. And this is the name, this is the address that people are going to go to when they want to go visit my blog. This is the title that's going to appear at the top. And now I just need to choose a template. So there are a number of different templates. This is basically kind of the look, the layout, the color scheme for your blog. Gosh, what sounds good? I think I'm going to choose ethereal because that just To me, that sounds like mornings at Starbucks. The only one thing that I would warn you about is with dynamic views, and feel free to play with any one of these because you can always go back and change it later, and I'll show you in the settings where you can change that. Be careful with dynamic views. It's a little bit different. It's a new feature that Blogger added maybe a year or two ago, and it's just a little different is all I'll say right now. You can feel free to play around with it. All the rest of these are pretty straightforward, but dynamic views gives a very different view for your readers, the people who are going to be looking at your blog. So for just starting out, I would choose any one of these other options except for dynamic views. I'm going to go with ethereal, and I'm going to click create blog. All right, so now it's creating my blog, and in just a moment we're going to see a brand new, here we go, Mornings at Starbucks has been created successfully. My blog has been created, and so I want to start posting. So right away, and of course, if you are blogging for the first time, I'll click dismiss. If you're blogging for the first time, you're not going to see a bunch of other blogs in this list, but maybe over time, you might decide that you would like to, let's say you have one blog just for a vacation or just for a trip or just for all of your vacations. And then let's say that's you belong to an organization, you belong to a service organization like the Rotary Club or something like that. Let's say you want to maintain a separate blog that's just for the organization you belong to. You can, under one Blogger account, you can create multiple blogs, which is obviously what I do. So you can have as many of them as you'd like and maintain them all under one. This is called the dashboard. So this is where I can kind of see everything at a glance, see all of my blogs at a glance. So I'm going to go ahead, and if I click here, I'm going to start to create a new post. Actually, let me go back. I want to go back because I want to show you the specific dashboard for this blog right here. I'm going to click Mornings at Starbucks. Okay, so this is now the dashboard for Mornings at Starbucks. You'll notice that there's nothing, there are no statistics here. The reason why is because we just created it, it's brand new. But over time, what you'll notice, especially if you click on more stats, and if we have some time, I can go back and show you later some stats for some of my other blogs. You'll see it's kind of validating because you see the number of people that are looking at your blog, and as it grows, we'll go back to the main dashboard really quickly. This is my teacher blog, which I've had since 2010. You can see I have over 80,000 page views. That to me is validating. That lets me know that the work, the time that I put into creating my blog, gosh, this is worth it. And of course, you're not going to necessarily have an audience of 150 to 200 students every semester who are going to the blog because they want to find out work that they missed or get a review worksheet or listen to a podcast or something like that. I kind of some of that traffic is a little, it's a little forced because they have to go if they want to get those resources. But it is nice to see those statistics to see, hey, 3 people looked at my blog today. And look, hey, I've already had one view of my blog already. That's just myself visiting it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go over some of these settings in just a little bit. I want to create a post, because this is really the heart of blogging, is creating a post, because this is like it's like your diary entry. And so I'm going to go ahead, and my very first post is going to be, I love my green iced tea in the morning. There is just something about unsweetened green tea from Starbucks. ... Okay, I'm a big green tea fan, as I mentioned. Now, it's one thing to have text, and text is fine, but it's another thing to bring your blog to life with images. So I'm going to make a little bit of space here, and I'm going to insert an image. So right here, it says insert image. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I will choose a file. Now this morning, as I was, let me see if I can find that. I think it's that one right there. Let's open. This morning, as I was in Starbucks preparing the notes for today's presentation, I went ahead and just decided, oh, there it is right there, perfect. So I'm going to add that selected photo. You can add multiple photos as well if you'd like. You don't need to just upload one at a time. You can choose multiple photos. But there it is. There's just something about unsweetened green tea from Starbucks. Makes me very happy. All right. So, and there you can see, look, I'm working on my little blog presentation there. Picture of me in Starbucks, or picture of my computer and my tea at Starbucks. And I'll go ahead and click on publish. This is my very first blog post. And so when I go now to view the blog, I can see what I've done. And there it is, Mornings at Starbucks. And so here it is, my very first blog post, complete with the photo. You notice that the photo goes above the caption. That's, for me, that's what I like to do. I like to generally include it above the caption. But you can caption first and then include photo or photos below. Let's say, now, this is the view that I see from my screen. And you'll notice here there's a pencil icon. When other people look at your blog, they will not see the pencil icon. They will not be able to edit it. In other words, if I highlight this and I go to a different browser and I go to starbucksmornings.blogspot.com, notice the pencil is not there. So because I'm logged in from a different account, I have not given my other account access to edit. There's no pencil. But let's go back here. And there's the pencil right there. Let's say, oh my gosh, I forgot to include a comment, or there's something else that I wanted to mention. I can click on Edit Post. And now I can go back. It takes me right back into the editor. And I can go ahead and post. Let's say that I wanted to include another photo. Actually, let's keep I want to keep my caption there. Also, you notice when I click on that photo, by default, it's medium size, but I can make it a little bit bigger. Extra large if I want to. Wow, that's a little big. I'll stick with large. Let's go ahead and include a different photo. And it says, notice I can include multiple files at once. I'm just going to choose one other photo. And I think I'll pick this one. And as soon as that finishes uploading to Blogger, then I will go ahead and select it and I will include it. Perfect. There it is. All right. Perhaps one day I will visit Papua New Guinea. Just because that's what happened to inspire me there on the wall of Starbucks. So you notice you can edit, you can include additional photos if you'd like, and then I can click Update. And I can view the blog, and now it's updated. There it is with the most up-to-date information. Let me go back now. I'll close this. And if you want, I can, let's say, for example, let's go to a new post. Mornings at Starbucks. My thoughts. Oops, my thoughts on green tea. Let's say it's going to take me a couple of hours or maybe a couple of days or even weeks to fully share my thoughts on green tea. I don't want to publish it yet. I'm not quite ready to share it with the world, but I want to start to share my feelings. But I'm not quite ready to publish yet. I can go to Save. And I save, and then I go back and look. And I'm going to go to my posts here. This is my dashboard menu. I'm going to go to posts. And notice right here, my thoughts on green tea, and it says draft. So right now it's in draft mode. I've saved it, but I haven't yet published it. So you could, let's say if you're composing something for an organization that you belong to, and you want to share your thoughts, or you want to provide information on an upcoming event, but you're not quite ready to publish it yet because you're not done, or you step away, you're going to go have lunch or something, you want to step away, but you want to come back to it later. You can save it. And as you edit, you can save. And then once you're ready to publish, then you go ahead and click publish, and then it will be posted to the web. So that's the way that you can save a post. The last thing that I wanted to share with you, I'm going to go ahead and I want to show you how to quickly embed video. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new post. And a video that I watched at Starbucks this morning that I really enjoy. Okay. A great video on how to share kindness and pass that kindness on. There is a foundation. Okay, few different ways that you can share video. Let's say that you want to share personal video, family video. You can upload that video straight from your computer. In this particular case, I'm going to go ahead. I know that I saw the video on YouTube. I don't know the exact URL of the video, the web address of the video, but I do know that it had something about boomerang, life vest inside. Let's go ahead and search for that. And there it is. And this is exactly what I want to share. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and click select. And now I'm going to go ahead and publish this. So you can even share videos on Blogger as well. Let's go to the blog. And there's the video, the YouTube and video. It's been embedded right into your blog. I can click. Oh, and of course, it's gonna make me look silly by having an error occur. I will try again later on almost everything, and it worked this morning too, as I was playing with this. But of course, it's it's not technology. If something doesn't go slightly wrong, we'll try again later. Like I said, it worked about an hour and a half ago. But this is how you can embed YouTube videos as well. And so. What's the next thing that I wanted to share with you? We've talked about the dashboard. Let me talk about mobile posting or posting by email. We're going to go ahead and let's go back to, here's Mornings at Starbucks. And let's go to, from the dashboard, here we go. I want to go to my settings. And I want to, and by the way, you can edit. I told you that you could edit your template. You can make it look differently. You can also edit your title. You can edit your blog address. Let's say that you named it something really super long and nobody can find it and you just want to simplify it. You can edit it down so that it's a little bit simpler, easier. You can edit any of these at any time. You can add a description. So there are a lot of different settings that you can change here, including your title and your address. I'm going to go down to mobile and email. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this because this is the way that you can send you're going straight from email without ever having to even go. You can do this straight from your phone if you'd like, if you have a web-enabled phone, a smartphone that can take photos and send email. This is your super secret email address. And the reason why I call it the super secret email address is because if you let this email address out to the general public, then you are allowing anyone to post to your blog. Now, this could be useful. Let's say that, like I said, you belong to an organization, you belong to the Daughters of the American Revolution or the Rotary Club, and you have a couple of different people that you would like to include as publishers to the blog. You share with them your trusted super secret email address, and then they will be able to publish via email as well. But again, I'm very judicious with who I share my password information with, and very cautious. And so you just want to use caution before you decide to share the super secret email address with anyone. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create. I don't want this part right here to have anything at all to do with the blog. I don't want it to be guessable at all. So my cat is fluffy. I don't even have a cat, and that's how secretive this is. No one will be able to figure this out. I'm going to go ahead and save the settings. There we go. So now, if I use this email address, and of course I'm sharing it with all of you as well, so theoretically you could be posting nefarious things to my Starbucks, Mornings at Starbucks blog also, but I'm trusting you that you won't, and you're the only ones who even know about the blog right now anyway. So let me go ahead and I am going to send an email to this ripolito.mycatisfluffy@blogger.com. You can't have any spaces in there. It has to follow the same rules of all other email addresses. So I'm going to go to my Gmail and I am going to compose a new email message right here. And let me go ahead and okay. So the email address is rippolito.mycatisfluffy@blogger.com. All right, so did I get that right? mycatisfluffy@blogger.com. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get rid of my signature line here because I don't want, thank you, I don't want that to be included in my blog post. So what's the one more thing? These are some great offerings you can find at Starbucks. And again, you notice that I'm sending this email from my computer, but you could just as easily send this email from your, like I said, from your phone. You could send it from your iPad. You could send it from any web-enabled device. Any device that you have access to email from, you can post to your blog from. And now I'm going to attach the last photo that I took. I'll click open. And I will put, delicious. And I will click send. Now, go back to mornings at Starbucks. It's going to take a moment. My Gmail settings are such that I give myself a little bit of time to make sure there's an undo feature in Gmail, and it gives me about 30 seconds. So we're going to wait about 30 seconds or so. And notice it's not there quite yet, but we're just give it a little bit more time, and in just a moment it should be there. I'm going to go back to my settings really quickly. And while we're waiting for that email to post, I want to talk to you really quickly about. You could also, this is more of an advanced feature, but you could also post to your blog from your cell phone. You can actually text message. I don't ever use that feature. I don't know of many people that use that feature, but you could actually send a text message to your blog, and you can add your mobile device. You could add your cell phone number. It's going to ask you and you're going to verify. You can connect your cell phone to your blog as well. That's another option for you. I'm not really going to talk much more about that. I do want to talk about comments, though. Let me go to posts and comments while we're waiting for that post to post. You have the ability to let people, if you want, on your blog comment on your posts. So they see a photo from your trip to Europe, and they say, oh my gosh, what a great trip, or what great photos, or hey, I was just there 3 weeks ago. You can give the viewers of your blog the option to post comments. However, this is the wide world of the internet, and so if you are letting anyone look at your blog, anyone that you'd like, look at your blog, then you have to know that it's going out to everyone. So normally what I do when it comes to comments is I lock these down, especially with students. I have very good students. I have a good relationship with my students, good rapport. However, I don't ever want a student to post something inappropriate, post an inappropriate link to a photo or a video. I want to be able to keep my teaching job. So what I do, these are the two settings that you really want to focus on the most. Who can comment? So this is on your dashboard, and this is under settings and posts and comments. Who can comment? If you click anyone, this is like the Wild West. You are letting anyone post whatever they want, including automated posts from spammers. So you will attract over time, you will attract a lot of spam comments, and I really discourage you from doing that. So you can either have a registered user. There are a few different ways that people can log in and register. Only users with Google accounts, that locks it down a little bit more. Only members of this blog. This would be the tightest security of all, which means that really only the people that you have allowed specifically, let's say that you're going to keep this just among your family, and you want to add just some family members as members of the blog, they can comment. And so you can lock it down that much. You could also, if you wanted to open it up to anyone, like, hey, who knows? Maybe I will meet someone new. Maybe I'll meet someone. Maybe there was someone who was on that trip to the Holy Land or on that trip to Europe who wants to contact me, and the only way that they can contact me is by leaving a comment. Then you could open it up to anyone, but then I would strongly encourage comment moderation. Comment moderation means that every time someone makes a comment, the comment is going to be emailed to you first, and you act as the moderator. So you're going to get an email saying, hey, this person has posted a comment. Would you like it to appear on your blog? This is kind of nice because what this means is that you're going to get a little heads up every time a comment comes through. This actually, you may prefer this method because otherwise, let's say that you post vacation photos. Let's say that you go to Europe and someone is trying to reach out to you and find you, and because you met up with another couple in Europe or whatever, and you wanted to swap photos. This is actually going to give you an alert. It's going to send you an email like, hey, someone is trying to interact with you. And so this may be a good choice for you. You may really like this. This is what I have set for almost all of my blogs, because if someone's going to interact with me, if they're spam, I know it, I can mark it as spam, and I'm done. But if there's someone like a real person who actually wants to get in touch with me, let's say there's a real student who actually wants to interact with me and leave a comment, then they can do so using the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and save those settings. I'm going to let anyone who wants to can comment, but it will always be moderated. And I'm going to go ahead and click save on that. Now, we should by now, that blog post should have posted. I'm going to go ahead and take a leap of faith and click on view blog. And sure enough, there it is. So this is, you can see, this is the email that I sent to myself. And again, you could send that email from an iPad. You could send it from an Android tablet. You can send it from your phone, your web-enabled phone. And so blogging is just as easy as sending an email. There was one more thing that I wanted to share with you. Your template. So earlier, back when we first created the blog, you remember we chose, I think this was Ethereal. Is that what that was? Ethereal? Yes, we chose Ethereal. You'll notice here in the template menu, there are lots of other templates you can choose from, and it actually shows you more options. Let's say I want to go with watermark. Then it will give a preview. Oh, see, this is kind of, this is manly. I like this. And the manly, it's, got that brown. It has the kind of the geography, the old map in the background. I like this. This is a theme that speaks to me. Good. I'm going to go ahead and I will apply it to my blog. And this is feeling a little bit more personalized now, which is good. I like that. But again, if you have a travel blog, you could, you could make it. Let's click on this. And you've got the little airplane wing in the background and the sky background. So it's you can customize it. I'll go ahead and close that. I'll show you one more. Awesome ink. And again, this is I've used this template before for some of my classroom blogs. Very simple. It's looking very kind of technological. So various options you have for color and layout, just depending on what your preferences are. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can go to the layout and you can start adding elements. One of the things you could do is add a gadget. And again, now we're getting into some more advanced features, so I don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole here, but I do want to show you. So let's say, for example, that you wanted to add an image. You could add an image similar to, I'll go back here. This right here is an image that I found. I just found it in Google Images of a file cabinet because I wanted to be able to create a link that goes to my digital file cabinet that has all the resources that I shared. This is using Google Docs, Google Drive. Again, we're going into some advanced features here. But that's a way that you can create a link that goes someplace else with an image. Now let's say, last thing that I wanted to show you here, because I know we're getting close to the end, and I did want to give you an opportunity to ask questions. Let's go here to pages. I wanted to just briefly explain the difference between a post and a page. A post is going to, let's refresh this so we see all of our posts here. Posts appear in reverse chronological order. Okay, so they appear in the reverse order in which we've posted them. So the earliest going all the way up to the most recent post. If you have a page is something that you want to remain static. You want it to stay over time. You would like for it to stay there because this is something that is going to be, you want it to be more than just something that goes away and kind of moves down as the days and weeks go on. For example, let me go to my teacher website. There is the parent and student frequently asked questions. This is a page. If I go ahead and click on that, this is something, notice nothing else in the blog changed. Everything else stayed the same. All of the stuff here on the side, all of my links, everything, my blog archive stayed the same. If I click back home, then it flips back to where we were before. This is a page. So these are just notes that help parents and students just to understand a little bit more about what's going on in my classroom. If you belong to a professional organization, for example, this could be where you might put your bylaws, or you might embed your upcoming events. You could embed a Google Calendar in here. If you use Google Calendar, again, that's a little bit more of an advanced feature, but you could embed a calendar. You could put dates of upcoming events. You could have a list of links. You can also include photos in here as well, photos and videos on pages, just like you can embed them onto a post. But again, these pages will always, if you have it formatted the way I have it formatted up at the top here, these pages are always going to stay put. They're always going to stay up at the top of your blog, which is nice if you want to, let's say you want to link to something that is beyond your blog. This is my awesome learning guide that I shared with my government students. I click on that, and then this is everything that they need to, this is something I created in Google Docs. So it's an external link. It goes out someplace else. That's what you can use pages for. So let me go back really quickly and just show you an example of that. Let me go to pages, and I'm just going to create one new page. You have a choice. A blank page. I told you could have your bylaws on there, or frequently asked questions for your organization, or you can simply have it go out to another web address. So let's say, for example, if I want to share the latest news. Oh, actually, this is mornings at Starbucks. So why don't I just go ahead and I'll make it the Starbucks website. If I wanted my viewers, the readers of my blog, to be able to go to the Starbucks website straight from my blog, I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Now, right now, it says Don't Show. By default, it doesn't show pages. I want to go ahead and just show them as top tabs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Top Tabs, and I'm going to save that. And so now I go to view the blog, and now you'll notice they appear at the top. Here's Home. Here's starbucks.com. It clicks out to Starbucks. I go back to the blog. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to pause here. I see that my time is 10:43 on the West Coast here, and I know we're just about to wrap things up. A lot that I've shared with you, a few advanced features as well. Jim, do we have any questions?
Yeah, excuse me, yes. I get the questions up. How do you get people to follow your blog?
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, the easiest way that I get people to follow my blog is I would copy the web address. So it's not something that it has to kind of happen organically. You have to spread the word. It's got to start somewhere. So I would go ahead and copy this, and let's say you just want to share it with your friends and family. I would start by emailing it out. Just copy. You highlight this, and we'll go ahead and we'll compose an email and send it out to all your friends and family. And you say, hey, friends and family, let me spell that right, check out my new blog. And I've already copied Let's do this correctly here. Go back to Mornings at Starbucks. Highlight that and go back here. There it is. So there's my web address, and so send that out to all your friends and family. You could also you could go to Facebook and you can post it in Facebook as well. So if you have a Facebook account and you have Facebook friends, definitely share it with your Facebook friends. Say, hey, I'm going to be going on vacation. I'm traveling to Europe. I may not have time to post to Facebook because sometimes Facebook could take time to maintain, and I feel like the difference when it comes to the difference between Facebook and a blog. Facebook is great, and I love Facebook for a number of different things. But Facebook has ads, and Facebook has distractions. Facebook just has a lot of nonsense in it, and sometimes you just want to keep it simple. And if you take a look, for example, at this is simple. So share this on Facebook with your Facebook friends, and then they can go ahead and they can click on the link, and they can check out what the latest is from your vacation, or what's going on with your organization. So that's another way that I share. Actually, a common way that I share is on Facebook, and I'm also on Twitter as well. So I share my blog entries on Twitter also.
Okay, we have a couple questions about privacy and security.
Yes.
And how do we, say somebody knows your the address of your blog.
Yes.
How do you prevent people from automatically seeing what's out there?
Okay.
Is there a way to put a password on or something?
There is, when we go to when we're in settings. That's a great question. When you're in settings and you're in the basic settings right here, this is again the dashboard. You go to your basic settings, blog readers. Now by default, it's anybody. So you put your blog out to the wide world, but you can definitely edit that, and you can change it so that let's say that you do want to keep it private. You can click on only these readers. So we add readers, and you can add them by email address or choose from your contacts, and you can restrict it to just those people, but they are going to need to log in. They need to have a Google account, and they will need to log in. You could, if you just want to keep it to yourself, only blog authors, and unless you have added an author right here, the only person, so if I wanted to, let's save those changes, only blog authors. So now, Mornings at Starbucks is shut down. It's shut down to anybody except for me. So I'm the only one who can see this right now. So this is the way right here under permissions, settings, basic permissions. This is the way that you can either lock it down or open it up to just the people that you want to invite to look at your blog.
Okay. While I'm at uploading your handout, have a couple more questions.
Okay.
If you have a domain name, how do you put the domain name?
Okay. Well,
well, let me get the second part of the question. How do you point your domain to your blog?
Got it. Okay, so let's say this is kind of, you may have noticed that my blog is, I have a couple of different ones, ronippolito.com and mrippolito.com, and how do you do a custom domain? Honestly, the best value, if you're, and I don't work for Google. Google doesn't pay me. I'm not a paid spokesperson for any technology company. This is the easiest way right here, is to right here in Blogger. You could, if I wanted to call this www.starbucks, let's see, can I do it? starbucksmornings.com. Have I set this up? It's settings instructions. I'll leave this page. It's been a while. Yes, you can. All right. There used to be. It's been a while since I've done a custom domain right from right from Blogger. But there used to be a very easy way to purchase, and I'm not sure why it's not quite as easy anymore, to purchase a domain name right here. And the settings instructions depend on what domain you wish to use. Okay. And perhaps we may not have enough time to do it from here. I also use GoDaddy.com, and this is how I have a GoDaddy account. I go ahead and I create my domain, and it costs, custom domain names on Blogger. I think I'm paying only $10 a year for my custom domain, which to me is a great value. GoDaddy costs a little bit more. It's anywhere from $12 to $17, depending on whether it's .com or .org or .us. But with GoDaddy, it's really, really easy. I create the account. I type in, let's say I want starbucksmornings.com. I will search to see if it's available. And for $12.99 a year, I can be starbucksmornings.com. I can get the ball rolling. And then within GoDaddy, it's a pretty easy process to take this right here. You take this right here, and you put that into your GoDaddy settings, and then so whenever somebody goes to starbucksmornings.com, it will automatically forward to this blog address right here, just in the same way that this is my teacher website. When students go to mrippolito.com, it automatically forwards to this address here. So I'm sorry, I wish the Blogger process would have been a little bit easier here, but I will often use GoDaddy as well, and either one is perfectly, they're both, well, Blogger is normally easier. GoDaddy is very easy to set that up as well, and like I said, this is just $12.99 a year.
Okay, Ron, another question is, if you have text already in a Word document,
yes,
can you insert the Word document, or do you need to copy and paste from Word? Can you talk about that?
The best thing to do if you're typing in Word or any other word processing program is I would just copy and paste. You cannot. Blogger does not have the ability to attach files other than photos, and I believe you can also attach video files as well to an email. And so those photos and videos are the only two things that you can embed by sending them as an email attachment. If you wanted to embed, let's say that you want to attach a Word document to a blog post, or you want to embed a PDF, an Adobe Reader PDF file, you cannot attach those to an email and upload them. You also cannot embed those types of files simply by, there's no setting in here where you can embed those, by going and creating a new post. There's no way to embed those types of files. With WordPress, if you're interested in emailing Word documents as attachments and having them automatically post, then WordPress would be a very good option for you, because it will do that. It will do that automatically, and then they will appear at the bottom of your post. So as far as Word, best thing to do just for text is copy and paste. You could also, and again, this is a little bit more of an advanced feature, you could use a service like Droplr, for example. This is what I mean, Droplr. Droplr is a file hosting service that I use, and basically with Droplr, let me go ahead and let me get out a full screen here. Let's get out a full screen. Again, this is another one of those advanced features. But let's say, for example, I wanted to take this this Starbucks, the picture of me at Starbucks, and I wanted to drop it here into Droplr. I'm using a Mac. It's just as easy on a PC. The only difference is it would appear down in the bottom in your system tray on a PC. You notice I've just uploaded that to Droplr. Let me go back now, and if I'm going into Blogger and I'm creating a new post, and I would say, here's the photo of me at Starbucks, and there's that Droppler, using Droppler in Blogger. So again, this is just one of those those advanced features. Let me make sure that this is a link, a hyperlink, and I'll click publish. I'll go to my blog. So you could do this with any file, Word document, PDF. You could use a service like Droppler. I click on that link, and there's the photo right there. So again, you can use that with any. You could do that with any file using a file hosting service like Droppler.
Okay, Ron. If people look over on the right-hand side between the attendee and chat areas, there's now a file tree box.
Okay.
Click on setting up a blog. Then the download files should turn on, and you can download Ron's handout right now.
Perfect. So click and download.
And you can download. Okay, another question is, if you have multiple pages in your blog, can you use them as mini blogs? Like maybe have a page on design, a page on cooking, a page on cooking, and gardening, I'm sorry.
Yes. You can, okay, so so you can definitely have multiple, go back to design here, and I'll go to, by the way, I should show you, I've been doing this and I really haven't been explaining it. If you go up here, if you're on your blog, again, this bar up at the top here, you will only see it. You will only be able to edit. These edit features here are only available when you are logged in on your own computer. Other users won't be able to change the design of your blog. I click on design here. That takes me to my dashboard. And if I want to go to pages, and you can definitely, you can add, you were talking about like maybe, home design, and then you can have, we'll publish that, and then we can have a new one that's, recipes and cooking. You absolutely can do that. And then if we go, those are just going to be blank right now, but and I can go and look at the blog and see now I have those additional pages that I've added. They're going to be absolutely blank. There's not going to be anything on there. But and you can also, once you start, if you really get into blogging and you want to go take a step beyond and start creating multiple blogs, you could have your other blogs linked. I can go here. Actually, I'll just show you an example on here. So, this is my main teacher site, but if I wanted students to go to my AP US History site, I click here. And now this is my AP US History blog. So you can actually even you can link to other blogs from your main blog, if that makes sense. What else? I know we're running out of time, so I want to try to answer as many more as quickly as I can.
Excuse me.